record real quick. So the objective of this next hour is really to, number one, increase the number of people that we're inviting into either the coaching opportunity or into our challenge groups. Number two, it's really to close out anything that's sort of open-ended. So conversations that we're having, anything that sort of went dead end, or if we just haven't followed up with people the way that we need to, that's what we're focusing on now. The other piece of it is going to be connection, and Megan's going to be guiding us through that. So the reason that we did this tonight is, although this is recorded, this is a recording you can come back to at any time. So every day in some way, I am tracking my business and I am doing my own manual sort of power hour. So you'll see here, I always have like my book open on my desk, and then I am going through and I am checking off the box, and it's revealing to me, just like any tracker that I use with my nutrition, it's revealing to me what I'm doing, what I'm not doing, what are the holes, what can I improve on, what could I be better at. So right now, tonight, we're really walking through this in just a few steps. We are going to be spending some time truly just doing the power hour. Megan and I are going to be sharing a few of our scripts. The other thing that I want to share with you, I have mine printed out. Megan, I don't know if you put this in your team page or not. It is the flow chart. Have you guys seen this yet? So the flow chart, it's in the file section, but basically, if you're like, I don't know how to actually talk to people, this is like walks you through step by step exactly how to have a conversation with someone that goes from just starting from, hi, how are you, into converting them into a customer, and then anytime you might be getting objections. So when I am doing my power hour, I actually just take this script and then I will kind of tweak it. I'll make it my own, and I use this during my power hour. So if you're fine and you're like, I don't really need scripts, that's okay too. But for me, especially when it's like, it's a little bit harder to make sales, I go back to that as well. So tonight, the very first thing that we are going to do is we are going to start inviting from content that we have already created. So here is the very first step. Number one, I want you to open your social media devices. So whether that's you posting on Facebook or on Instagram or in your stories, and the very first thing that we are going to do is we are going to connect with people and invite them into what we are doing. So for example, if I open up my Instagram account and I go in and I click on the post I just did, and I see like who maybe connected with that post that I did, I'm gonna maybe click on this adorable thing who actually did. Oh my God, it says NNHS 2023. She's still in high school, isn't she? Well, that's not gonna work. Never mind, that's a terrible example. All right, so I'm gonna click on this one girl. Her name's Kathy, and she's really super cute. Looks like she loves her dog and vacation. So I am just gonna engage with her. I'm gonna like a couple of her posts, and then I'm gonna send her a message. And in the message, it is gonna be very simple. I am going to say, hey there, just wanted to send you a quick message. I noticed you liked my post that I did the other day about coaching, and I just wanted to say thank you. Not sure if it's something you're actually interested in as well, but I would love to shoot over that information to you if it's something you want to know. Anyways, I hope that you are having a great day, and I cannot wait to hear back from you. So I go through and I do that for anything that is coaching related, okay? So I kind of take the pressure off of it, or challenge group related, whatever it might be. I'm basically able to take the pressure off of like, oh, but I don't like that idea of like just saying like inviting because I am coming out and I am basically like, hey, I don't know if this is what you were interested in or not, but I want you to know that it's available to you. So what we're going to do is we're going to take about 10 minutes and we're going to invite from the content that we have. Now, if you have been keeping up with your daily invites, your daily tracker, you might be saying, all right, well, I don't know if I have content to invite from. Go back into your stories. Like, find posts that maybe you see people have seen or they have engaged with, and I want you to actually send them a message like that, all right? So we're gonna take about 10 minutes. We're gonna connect. We're gonna like invite directly from the content that we have already put out. Cool? All right, let's go ahead and do that. Megan, if you have anything to add, you can go ahead and do that too.
The only thing I'll add is social media rewards you in your social. So like this whole aspect of this isn't just like, oh, I got to go do this step and check this box. Your social media will perform better. You will get more traction organically on your page the more you go out and get on other people's pages. Now, some of it's natural, right? Like someone likes your page, you're going to go look at their page. You like their stuff, they're going to like you back. Like that makes sense. But on top of that, Instagram rewards you for using their stuff, for using their platform, for into engaging with other people. So yes, this is part of our power, and yes, it helps people realize that we're real people and we are looking to connect with them. But for Instagram especially, like it really rewards you. And I can say that I found myself like just as we prepared to go back to school, and I've been less on, like I've been getting in and getting out because I've got other things to do. My traction is way down. And I actually like was thinking about it. I was like, what am I doing wrong? Because it's really low right now. And I actually think I'm not being social enough. I'm not engaging enough on other people's stuff. So why would they come to my page? Why would Instagram show them mine if all I do is post and run? So use this as a vital step, not just like, yes, you want to connect with people and make sales and all that jazz, but like it builds and grows based on your traction.
I put in the chat bar what I'm writing out to people who actually engaged with a post that I did the other day, where I just talked about like how I rephrase like insecurities that I have. But one of the insecurities that I mentioned was just like, you've gained 5 pounds this summer and everyone can see it. And then the rephrase, but I also talked about like, this is something that we could totally do together. So it was a very quiet one. It wasn't like this a loud like call to action post. But then everybody who liked it, I just went through and basically sent that in that like message. So that's the one that I sent out today. So I did that there, and then I did that out on IG as well. Okay. So notice too, it's like a thank you. You lead with a compliment, and then you get into like a call to act. Like, is this something that you two want to know more about?
And I'll just add, like, if you're sending these messages and you're like, no one ever responds to me, like, this is pointless, no, they're still watching you. Because I can't tell you how often I'll go back and I'll look and I'll send a message like this to somebody, and then that person will respond to a poll. And I'll send them a message for responding to my poll, and then they'll like another picture. And I'll send them another message for liking a picture, and they don't respond. And then all of a sudden one day it clicks and they respond back. And it was because that day that they responded back, they were at their tipping point where they were like, I do need this, and I'm over my insecurities and I'm ready to jump. So I think this step is so key. It helps you see who's been watching you and who's interacting on your stuff. And it starts to build that connection. And they might be thinking, is this really a real person? Is she really messaging me? And you can take that same message, your own message, and you can voice it, or you can video yourself sending it. And then you can send a video off to the people, or you can send a voice on Facebook. Or can you send it? You can send a voice on Instagram. You just can't like forward it over. But you could send a voice like this on Facebook too to people who are liking your stuff. And that connection goes a long way, even if you don't necessarily see it immediately.
Let's take about 2 minutes to finish up. But again, if this is something you need to get back to after we kind of work through the power hour, we can do that as well. All right. So about 2 minutes, finish it up. All right, guys, why don't you make a note in your tracker or on your sheets, wherever you guys might be, and I track down these conversations after they've actually, no, I don't get shut down. No, the only time I've gotten shut down, Katie, is like a week and a half ago, where I had a post that did pretty well. I got kicked out of IG because they said it wasn't me, and then I got kicked out of Facebook because they didn't think it was actually me. So once I kind of like dealt with that, I got back on it. It was no issue. But slow yourself down. So if you're sending out a lot of messages, just stop yourself and say, all right, now I'm gonna like connect. I'm gonna engage with accounts. I'm gonna like, just see what else is going on. And this Thursday, actually, we recorded a podcast with Rachel Bell. I don't know if you guys follow her. Like her name is just Rachel Bell. And she's phenomenal with Instagram. And one of the things she said is, if it sounds mundane, it is, because it is not fun, but this is actually how you're going to grow your account. So you are following, you are engaging, you are liking, you are building connections. That's part of what we do in a power hour, but really that's just part of how you grow your business. It's part of how you grow your credibility. It's part of how you grow your, you know, your following. So it's not always fun, but if you're missing that social piece of it, it's not going to grow. So that's coming on Thursday. That was a really great podcast. But all right, let's go on to number 2. Let's talk about invites from the past. So these are the ones that people have either started engagement with you or you've talked to them a little bit back and forth, and now they are not talking back with you. And so you're sitting here going like, all right, what is happening? So if it is a conversation that has gone cold, it was a good conversation and then now nothing, I use these words very simply and it always gets it going. I say, I'm so sorry. Have I offended you in some way? And I use that line, and basically people never want to feel like they have offended you in any way. So they're going to start talking again. And it might be that now is not the time, but it usually opens up a new conversation about the objection that they're really having internally that they haven't wanted to state to you publicly. So anything that has gone cold tonight, we're going to be like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry that I didn't follow up with you. Or, oh my gosh, I hadn't heard back from you. I have to ask, like, have I offended you? So find a way to get the ball rolling with any conversations that have gone cold. The second type of follow-up we are doing is if you participated in the sale. I know that Nora, our assistant, do they have that, Megan? Like, we gave that to everybody, right? Okay, so do you have that link? Can you drop it in there? Perfect. So if you participated in the sale, our assistant went through and she labeled everyone who like invited someone, like who their coach belonged to, basically like when they requested to join. So your job tonight is to go through your orders and see who has actually ordered, who hasn't, and who then went in and actually like wanted to be a part of the group. So what I do is, oh my gosh, and this is seriously how I'm wording it. I am just starting with, oh my gosh, I owe you the biggest apology. I was at a hockey tournament all weekend and I literally am just getting to sending up some messages after that sale that we had on Friday. I'm super, super embarrassed, but I owe you a huge apology and wanted to make sure I got your order in. Did you get a chance to check it all out? What can I help you order? And it's wording it in a way that you're confidently thinking and assuming the sale already. So that is what I am sending up follow-up wise to all of those people. I'm basically going to type that out in the chat bar for you if you want to just literally just change it up, tweak it a little bit so you can basically copy paste that as well. Because I don't know if everybody here was at a hockey tournament this weekend. So we are going to follow up anything that you have talked to people about that has gone cold, anything that maybe you let fall through the cracks. Start with the apology. Start with the I screwed up. Start with the, oh my gosh, I can't believe I almost let you miss out on the promo code. That is all my bad. So we are going to start with those follow-ups. If you have been inviting throughout this month, I am giving you 10 minutes to do it tonight, but it should take you more like 20, 30 minutes. I have an entire chunk of my morning tomorrow carved out just for this. So that is what we are focusing on now. I'm going to actually type things out in the chat bar. If anybody else has a great follow-up, put it in the chat bar, share it with each other because we love each other. And that's what we're going to do right now. All right, let's go ahead and do some follow-ups, guys.
And just on that, the other thing I use on IG is I drop the knock knock gif, whatever. Someone gave that on a call once, and I think it's fun. It usually gets them to respond. So along the same lines of like the did I offend you? If you do like send a gift to them like a hello, are you there? Or, you know, something like that. If that's your personality, like I send those all day, every day to everybody. That's just how I like to communicate. So if that's you, then use those and it helps you, it gives you another way to follow up or to connect or talk to someone without sending the same like follow-up message.
Hey, Megan, I just saw your post. Hey, in the post you did, my name has an underscore between Katie and Ursta.
So it didn't tag you?
No, we'll take it to a dead link. Because there was this girl named Katie Ursta who couldn't figure out what she was doing on Instagram, and now she can't close the account. That's me.
Oh my God, it sure did.
Sure did.
That's funny. Well, hey, good thing I was talking to you. Gotcha.
Okay, we're gonna do one more type from me, and then I'm gonna turn it over to Megan because she's gonna go over like engaging with content and actually engaging with people and creating conversations from there. So the next one is just working with your current challengers. So one thing that we sometimes overlook is the people that we already have in our customer base, making sure they're aligned to other products, even though they might not be necessarily attached to challenge packs, it's still volume. So making sure that they know about collagen, that they know about beach bars, making sure that we're serving them and giving them products that we do think will help them with their needs. But the other thing that I wanted to mention is, have you asked your current clients if they have referrals? So we're actually going to do that right now. We are going to ask anyone who either just invested or just signed up and took advantage of the sale that we did, or anyone who's maybe been with us for a while. We're either going to ask them, if they are interested in like pursuing the coaching side of what we do and helping their friends and family members get started on their health and fitness journey, or creating a business like we do. But then we're also going to take it one step further, and we're going to ask for referrals. So if somebody says no to the coaching opportunity, it should always open the opportunity for us to ask for referrals. If somebody says yes to the coaching opportunity, it's a great thing to take those referrals and give them back to them if they've already made them before. So I want you guys to reach out to the client base that you do have. And I want you to go and I want you to ask the people who are invested in the challenge groups, who are showing up every day, the people who are getting results with the products. Ask them to coach, invite them. And it can be very general. Usually it's just a statement. I'm pretty blunt with them. I'm like, girl, I see what you're doing. You're amazing. And I'm pretty sure you just need to be on my team. So have you thought about coaching? And that's just how I word it. I don't overcomplicate it. I don't try to explain all the ins and outs of coaching. It's just a basic invite. If it's somebody that like is great, but that you maybe asked them about coaching before, or they're really not interested in the coaching side, ask them if they would be interested in a referral, and that you are always happy to like honor with a fill in the blank, a $25 Amazon gift card for referrals. Like maybe it's a program that you have. That's another great way. And I always add with that, fitness is more fun with friends. So if it's something that they love, this is a great way to pay that forward. So we're gonna go into our client base. This should only take 5 or so minutes. Once we start that conversation, we'll circle back to that after the rest of the power hour. So start that conversation. You should have at least 5, 6 people that you can ask from your client base. All right, so let's go ahead and do that now. Crystal, if you don't have a client right now, honestly, you are just doing your invitations from the current post that you have, and then you are also following up from conversations that you've had before too. And don't be afraid to like your clients see your personality. So, I mean, every time I ask people to coach, I'm like, so you're going to do this with me, right? Like I just say it like how I would talk. You know, because you know how it's like a business, but like it doesn't really look like it. I got to ask, when are we getting you signed up? So it's a very just like, don't put that pressure on yourself of a what if they're going to say no, just assume they're going to say yes. All right. So Megan has a couple of examples below for referrals too. Those are good. But just for time's sake, because I really want to be able to go back and to use this for you guys for power hours and stuff. Megan, do you want to go ahead and go over connections with them?
Yes, and as we're going through these, like you might find things, like you might spend more time on something than, something that we're kind of allotting time for. Like Katie said, she has time blocked out tomorrow for follow-ups. I tend to do follow-ups in bulk. Yes, as I'm going through, if I think of somebody, if I want to send them a message, I absolutely will. As we were going through this, the message that I put down here about the 3 promo codes was to a girl who signed up in the warehouse sale as a coach with Morning Meltdown. So I was like, I don't know that I asked her about referral yet. So I put that, like I actually sent her that message. But you'll get to a point where you just kind of figure out what's working best for you and what flows. And if you like to do follow-ups a certain day of the week, or, 2 or 3 days of the week, or maybe it's connections to say, however it works for you. The key is you just have to do it. Don't get overwhelmed by the amount of information that's being thrown at you. Just get back and do it. So obviously we've given you guys a lot of examples on different things as far as connecting and following up with people and sending those messages. But when it comes down to it, having the social aspect of social media in our business is going to be huge. So I wanted to give you guys some examples. And I got these from some of the stuff when I was listening to someone else's, like another girl's power hour. And I liked some of the stuff that she did differently in the way she laid things out. So we already talked about posts. Something I want you guys to do now, and this goes back to what I said at the beginning, being social on social media, is I want you to go leave 10 compliments. Not with the direct result that I'm going to compliment this person and then they're going to come like buy a challenge pack or join my team. Open your Instagram. And when you open your news feed, you should see the people you like. If you don't, unfollow those people, because the whole purpose is that these are your people. So go to your feed and give 10 compliments, genuine compliments. Don't try to sell them on something. Just be social. And I'm going to give you like 3 minutes to leave 10 comments. So we're going to move through these social things pretty quick so we can still wrap this up by like 10-ish. So 10 compliments, ready, set, go. Don't be afraid of the unfollow button.
Hey Megan, can you just address too, like what you do if accounts are private on Instagram?
I still like, as far as like following them or not following them.
Do you follow them even if it's a private account?
It depends. Like if somebody's liking a bunch of my stuff, I might follow them to see who they are, or I might send them a message first, just to kind of gauge it. So if it might be along the lines of those first ones, like the connection ones at the beginning, like, hey, thanks for the love of my post. I appreciate connecting with other, moms like you, other women like you, whatever it is, other fitness, whatever your post was about. And usually if you send that message to someone, a coach is going to come back and say, thanks, I'm already a coach, or I'm doing that workout program too, where you can say, oh, are you working with a coach? And they'll either say yes or no. So I do still message them, but I don't go and follow every private account that's following me to figure it out. Like I will message them, and if they're a coach, well, your profile was private, so I had no idea you were a coach. I don't try to like go get like all detective and figure it out first.
Okay.
What do you do?
So for me, I'm not very good about it. I actually don't attempt to like reach out to them if they're private. I kind of like anyone who like initially follows me. Melanie said she sends out like a thank you so much for following to people who have a private account, like when they start.
I don't do that when I was really loud there. I don't do that when they initially follow me necessarily, unless that's like an action I'm doing is going through and following people back, which is something we're going to do here in a minute. But if I saw that they were private, I would normally come across their private versus public when I'm sending them like a thanks for interacting on my page.
Okay.
Other than just following. All right, so hopefully you found that easy enough to go through and just send 10 compliments. Again, this is you being social on social media. The next thing I want you to do is interact with your current followers. So this just helps, again, not just, giving the compliments, but thanking them back. This can be, something, maybe you've already done this throughout the other things, but thanking them for following you, for voting on your polls. Yes, I intentionally put polls in a place on my story, knowing that people are going to tap it that didn't necessarily need to tap it. Like, that is 100% intentional because they're following me. So it gives me a way to interact with them. A lot of people, my dog hit it, my cat hit it, whatever. But I think of, like, I would have been the person who would have never intentionally voted on a poll, but I scrolled like crazy. So I easily would have been a person who would have accidentally hit it. So I think of those people who are scrolling and not socializing like we are, because it's not their business, who are watching and they're kind of waiting for that right moment. So I do that, not all the time, but often, yes, my polls are there. And just another note on polls, and I've been trying to do this more lately, is trying to add a poll, like multiple polls a day. Like, yes, call to action ones are great, but whatever, I forget, I had like 2 up yesterday. They're unrelated to the business, but they're just, I snoozed today. Do you snooze, 5 times a day? Never. I pop out of bed. And just little things to get people to interact on your poll, because it helps you know who your audience is and it gives you another reason to connect. So somebody who, when you're asking about snoozing and they answer your poll on snoozing, that gives you an opportunity to message them and be like, oh my gosh, like, I suck with the snooze button too. I need to start putting my alarm across the room, or something like that can give you in that conversation. One time I was doing push-ups. So it was like one of my workout clips. And I had just had a thing like, I hate push-ups. And the poll was, they're my least favorite, or, whatever, I hate them too, whatever the options were. And I actually had a girl who responded on it who I had never talked before. And I sent her a message. And by the end of the day, she signed up as a coach. So it was that doesn't happen often. But in that particular instance, we connected over the fact that we didn't like push-ups. And it was a random poll. It wasn't a call to action, come join my group, come join my team. It was just a way to be social on social media. So start, and this isn't necessarily a do it right now, but it makes this step easier. Because if you have people who are interacting on your polls, they're also going to be more likely to interact on your polls when they are call to actions. So if they're used to voting on your polls over which shoes to wear, which dress to wear, whether or not they like yoga or meditation or lifting or cardio, then whenever you put a call to action up, they're going to vote there too. So I love to use polls regularly, because now when I go to send these messages, I'm not just looking for people. I go directly to poll responses. So kind of keep that in the back of your mind for something that you can do as you're moving forward. Add a poll any chance you have to, like, put an option up on one of your pictures or videos. But on top of that, right now, I want you to go and interact with people. So whether or not you have a poll up, that's an easy way to do it, or liking on your things, but just thanking them will go, it'll go a long way. I know we've done this already, so I'm not going to give, it's 9:47, so we'll just give like 3 more minutes to, again, just be a little social for a minute.
Okay, and while you guys are social, I'm just going to go back to Amber's question. And so Amber said, I apologize if you already answered this, but where do you keep track of all your conversations and how do you track them? Okay, so first of all, I use the Rise Up Planner, and I keep track of numbers there. So in terms of how many invites I send out, how many stories I did, if I socially engaged with other people, I track that all in the book. But I honestly track everything here. So I'm here and I do it all like on paper, and what you see highlighted is basically the people who have purchased challenge packs, or like what it might mean. So like the BTS is the back to school challenge. Then I have like SW is summer warehouse, and then coaching, of course, is coaching. And then I'll have like little codes that say like follow up with them or whatnot. The other thing that I do is I use my email list. So I am somebody who believes firmly in getting emails. And when I get their emails, they go in there and they are tagged according to what their interest is. But then on top of that, in the notes section, I might say like met on Instagram, interested in Morning Meltdown 100. So I can write a little note to myself so that if I come back to it and I see what that we originally talked about, it's all dated, and I'll also have a note about what it was that they were interested in as well. But paper and pencil still. And then like for the summer warehouse sale, all of that is in a Google document that Nora put together for our entire team. So if you invited to that and your people put your name on it, you're on that list too. So your people who are in there are on that list too. So that's really how I track. Nothing fancy. I am not a sassy, like fancy person at all. Sassy, I guess, but not fancy at all, even remotely.
Yeah, same. And I don't actually track when I send the initial, like the initial message or the initial invitation or the initial whatever. I wait till they get a response back. Because I actually, when I'm on my A game and not dealing with back to school madness, I try to send somewhere between like 20 or 30, you know, more messages a day. It depends. When you're going through connecting with people and thanking them for following you or voting on a poll or asking them if they're interested, it's a lot of me just trying to create conversation. When somebody expresses interest back that yes, they were interested in learning more about coaching or they dropped their email, then that person goes on my list. So I do more in volume. So I don't write down everybody I send a message to, but I do track it each day to make sure I'm at least doing like 20 in terms of a combination of like having conversations with people, whether they're actual invites or connections. I kind of keep a mental note on that so that I'm still moving forward on that. All right, so moving through, and again, this will be a recording. You can always pause this as we're going through if you need to like catch up on something or you want to spend more time on something. But something else is go just like 25 photos. So this should take like a minute. So you can open, and this is so much easier. I like think in terms of Instagram, but yes, you can do this on Facebook too. But like their stuff. So you're not doing conversations, you already did that. You gave 10 compliments earlier. So you've already given the words, go like their stuff. Anytime you like someone's stuff, your name pops up in their notifications. So your name is being seen. If you do this every day and you're going through liking these people's stuff, their posts, you're going to start to be in their newsfeed more. So it just helps support the algorithms behind the madness of social media that we can only get our stuff out there if we're out there ourselves. So 25 likes, you can do like a lot of people will do like 3 likes per account. And you can kind of do, or you can do 25, you can go to your, like just your news feed. Again, if you open your news feed and you don't like those pictures you see on your news feed, unfollow those people because they're not your people. I know I have found myself at times that I'll open it and I'll be like, who is this? Well, if I don't, and then yes, some of them I don't really know, but if it's something totally unrelated or something I don't want to read or look at, I'm going to unfollow them because it's not somebody who I want to be engaging with moving forward. Mm-hmm. Like I said, that part should be pretty quick. The next thing is follow back 5 of your followers. So if you go to your Instagram and you click on like on your page, you can see who your followers are. You're probably not following every single person who's following you. At some point, they followed you for something and maybe you didn't follow them back. So I don't follow back every person who follows me, but going through this activity is going to now allow these new people to show up in your news feed the next time you go to interact and like on their pictures and give compliments on their pictures. So go and look, like if you go to your just home screen and at the very top where it says followers, if you click on that, it'll bring everyone up. I don't know if it's in a certain order, to be honest. Maybe they are. I don't know. I feel like someone said you could filter this and I don't see how. So I don't know how to do that. Maybe that's in your following. Yes. So hold up. So go to your followers and find 5 people you want to follow back. So again, that one should be a pretty quick one. And after you follow back those 5 people, I want you to click on the heart at the bottom of your Instagram page. And that gives you all of your notifications. If you scroll to the end of your notifications at the bottom, it gives you people suggested for follow. Now, some of these might be coaches because you're a coach and maybe you're interacting on other coaches' posts. But some of them might be like, think of this as like on Facebook, your friends of friends. Or maybe you bought a new swimsuit and tagged a location or tagged a brand. Instagram's kind of doing that work for you where it's giving you people who you might be interested in. So this is just an easy way, mindless, don't worry about who it is. This is going to now put your name in their pages as new followers to them. Hopefully they'll follow you back. But Instagram picks these for you based on something that you've done that makes them think that these would be people that you would want to follow as well. So, some of them are companies, some of them, like for me, I see like some like, I don't know, it's like a meme thing, I don't know. But you'll just get, friends, followers. I see like some of my friends that have other accounts, some of my Facebook friends who I'm clearly not following on here, and just follow 10 of the back. Did I say 10 or 5? I don't remember. I did it right now. 10. Follow 10 of the people. And as you can see, as the stuff kind of all overlaps, by doing this, it's going to grow. So now when you've just followed these 10 people, so if you like refresh your screen, chances are you might see some of these people's stuff now in your newsfeed. So if you're doing this every single day, it constantly gives you the opportunity to get new eyes on your stuff and for you to get new eyes on other people's stuff, because there are so many people out there who we can connect with and help. And I think it's such a common thing I hear from people that I just don't know who to talk to. There's nobody left. I've already invited everybody. But if you can get in the habit of staying connected and growing your social media and these simple actions, you won't ever run out of people to talk to or people to interact with, because you'll constantly be growing your list. And then I got these things. I'll share with you guys. These things were some of my favorite things that were shared in like a bigger recording that was shared with me that I really liked. I listened to it once and then I sat down and did it once, but I really liked it. So I will share with you guys the complete checklist. I'll post it in the KB as well as my team. And the full recording, if you want to take a deeper dive, they go through like following like 100 people and unfollowing them. Like it was a little bit more in depth, but for purposes of like what I find the most important, it's the interaction on the pages. And those little pieces, like obviously any numbers, it's kind of like on our business activity tracker, right? Like what's it say on there? I don't even know what the real thing says. Invite 3 people a day. Is that what it says like on the tracker? I don't even mess with like the number there, 5, because I always do more than that, because I feel like the numbers that are there, that's the bare minimum, and I'm not working towards the bare minimum in my business. So you can do these activities that we shared. You can, go follow 20 people, because what happens when you follow the 10 that Instagram suggested for you, they'll give you 10 more. So you can do that on any number or level and scale it to whatever your goals are. The key is to do this. Make a note of what you're doing, and I'll go do it tomorrow, and then go do those same activities the next day. And if you can stick with it, you're going to have that constant funnel of new people to talk to and new relationships, and hopefully new people then coming to you and you say, I've got this new opportunity for you. That's all I got, Katie.
That's good. So I know for me, I like, just because when I go through a power hour, learn the power hour, figure out how to make the power hour work for you, and then implement the power hour every day. So it's just compound effect. So the more you do this consistently, the more of a habit it actually is going to become for you and for your business. So we know it's the end of the month. Implement this. Just create your power hour, make it your non-negotiable to not just hit Success Club, but make it your baseline. You just know that's what you do in the business, is you always achieve Success Club. And then look at your end of month benchmarks and say, all right, the only thing standing between me and where I want to go are these invitations that I am going to send out, that I get to send out, and the conversations that I get to have. So tonight, let's wrap this up. Let's take any action that we need to tonight on our own. And then from here, let's just finish the month strong. All right, guys? Okay. All right. Have a great night, everybody. I love you so much. We'll talk to you later. Bye, guys.